6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Soundithavam. The President urges the education authorities not to let the COVID-19 hinder the implementation of plans for the advancement of education. The vote of the third reading of the budget will take place today. India and Sri Lanka agree to find solutions to the existing fisheries matters. Sri Lanka's confirmed coronavirus cases exceed 30,000. Several programs commence from today to mark the 95th anniversary of the SLBC, which falls on the 16th of this month. World Human Rights Day falls today. In news overseas, Brexit, large gaps remain after crucial trade talks in Brussels. And in sports, Sri Lanka versus England, the two-test tour rearranged for January. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa urged the education authorities not to let the COVID-19 hinder implementation of plans for the advancement of education from preschool to university level, pointing out that the prime objective of the government is the development of the human resource and the future generation of the country must be equipped with knowledge, skills and competencies to make themselves productive citizens. The President emphasized that the initiatives launched by the government in this regard should not be hindered due to the prevailing situation. President Rajapaksa expressed his views at a discussion held at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday to review the steps taken by the Ministry of Education and all the state ministries under its purview to meet the expected objectives. The National Policy Framework Vistas of Prosperity and Splendor prioritizes the expeditious formulation of a national education policy. Another objective is to develop our education structure up to a level where children can learn from preschool to undergraduate level under a single syllabus with a specific objective in line with international standards, the President stated. The strategies presented by the Ministry of Education and other related ministries, such as the State Ministry of Education reforms, promotion of open universities and distance learning, State Ministry of Dhamma schools, Bhikkhu education, Pirivenas and Buddhist universities, State Ministry of Women and Child Development, Preschool and Primary Education, School Infrastructure and Education Services, and the State Ministry of Skills Development, Vocational Education, Research and Innovation were separately reviewed by the President to achieve this set target. The vote of the third reading of the budget will take place today. The Leader of the House, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, says that it will be held at 5 p.m. today. Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena and Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda met with the Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle recently. A statement by the Foreign Ministry said the two ministers discussed matters of mutual interest with the Indian High Commissioner, mainly focusing on the pork strait fisheries issue and possible post-COVID-19 mutual cooperation. The two sides agreed to find solutions to the existing fisheries matters through the established bilateral mechanisms, including the ministerial-level India-Sri Lanka Joint Working Group on Fisheries. The fourth meeting of the bilateral working group on fisheries that was scheduled for last January was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Both sides endorsed to convene the working group meeting virtually at the earliest, while assurances were given to maintain the standard procedures in dealing with mid-sea encounters. Both sides expressed satisfaction over the entire gamut of areas in bilateral cooperation, including the ongoing development assistance and COVID-19 pandemic joint action. The Indian side assured fullest cooperation to repatriate the Sri Lankans who are still stranded in South India due to travel restrictions. The two ministers thanked India for the assistance given to construct the Jaffna Cultural Centre, which is expected to become functional soon through joint collaboration. Both sides agreed to continue the close dialogue. The total number of COVID-19 infections confirmed in Sri Lanka surpassed the 30,000 mark. The Department of Government Information confirmed that 694 individuals linked to the Paliagoda fish market cluster were tested positive for the virus yesterday. Following the new development, total infections registered by the Minuangoda-Paliagoda cluster have reached 26,516. Sri Lanka has recorded 30,072 infections since the first positive case was reported in March this year. The epidemiology unit's data revealed that 8,128 active cases are still under medical care. Meanwhile, the total coronavirus recoveries reported in the country increased to 21,800 yesterday. 2 more COVID-19 related deaths were reported in the country yesterday. With this, Sri Lanka's total fatalities from the virus has risen to 144. One death was that of a 20-day-old infant from Colombo 15 who passed away on the 8th while receiving treatment at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Children in Colombo. He had suffered COVID-19 pneumonia, blood infection and multiple organ failure. The other victim was a 62-year-old male who was living in Colombo 10. He had been transferred from a private hospital in Colombo to the Mullairiava Base Hospital where he died yesterday. The cause of death was cited as COVID-19 pneumonia. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Several special programs have been planned to be conducted in connection with the 95th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The official ceremony will be held on the 16th of this month. Among the programs are the launching of Radio Magazine, a pen drive representing various eras, a new radio theme, and issuing of a commemorative stamp. A Pirit chanting and almsgiving invoking blessings on the country and the people will be held on the day. Religious programs will be held at all places of worship. An island-wide essay competition for children will be conducted to mark the occasion. Arrangements have been made to hold a music show with the participation of popular artists on the 16th of this month. The programs are being conducted under the guidance of the chairman of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, Jagat Wickramasinghe, and the Director General, Chandrapala Liyanage. World Human Rights Day falls today. Human Rights Day is observed every year on the 10th of December, the day the United Nations General Assembly adopted in 1948 the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The UDHR is a milestone document that proclaims the inalienable rights which everyone is entitled to as a human being, regardless of race, color, religion, sex, language, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth or other status. Available in more than 500 languages, it is the most translated document in the world. This year's Human Rights Day theme relates to the COVID-19 pandemic and focuses on the need to build back better by ensuring human rights are central to recovery efforts. We will reach our common goals globally only if we are able to create equal opportunities for all, address the failures exposed and exploited by COVID-19, and apply human rights standards to tackle entrenched, systematic and intergenerational inequalities, exclusion and discrimination. 10th December is an opportunity to reaffirm the importance of human rights in rebuilding the world we want, the need for global solidarity, as well as our interconnectedness and shared humanity. Under the UN Human Rights generic call to stand up for human rights, we aim to engage the general public, our partners and the UN family to bolster transformative action and showcase practical and inspirational examples that can contribute to recovering better and fostering more resilient and just societies. That's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The National Water Supply and Drainage Board says that due to a sudden repair, the water supply to Colombo 12, 13, 14 and 15 will be interrupted from 7 a.m. today. The Communication Officer of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board, Shiromi Karunaratna, says that water will be supplied to Colombo 1 and 11 under low pressure. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, The residents complain that more common properties belonging to the Niyagama Pradeshiya Sabha are deteriorating. They point out that these properties should be safeguarded by the Pradeshiya Sabha. This is for the attention of the chairman of the Niyagama Pradeshiya Sabha and came to you in Watchlight. Moving on to world news in the headlines, Brexit, large gaps remain after crucial trade talks in Brussels. Joe Biden's son Hunter says he's under investigation over taxes. And Elon Musk's Starship prototype makes a big impact. Dinner talks between Boris Johnson and EU chief Ursula von der Leyen aimed at breaking the Brexit trade talks deadlock ended without agreement. A Downing Street spokesman said very large gaps remain, but talks will continue with a firm decision on the prospects of a deal by Sunday. Mrs. von der Leyen said in a statement that the two sides were far apart. UK chief negotiator Lord Frost will resume talks with his EU counterpart Michael Barnier in Brussels on Thursday. The two negotiators also attended the 3-hour dinner meeting between the two leaders. US President-elect Joe Biden's son Hunter has said his tax affairs are under investigation. The investigation is being conducted by federal prosecutors in Delaware. Hunter Biden said he took the case very seriously, but was confident an objective review would show he had handled his affairs legally and appropriately. The Biden-Harris transition team said the president-elect was deeply proud of his son. A statement from the team said Hunter had fought through difficult challenges, including the vicious personal attacks of recent months, only to emerge stronger. US entrepreneur Elon Musk has launched the latest prototype of his Starship vehicle from Texas. Codenamed SN8, the uncrewed rocket lifted away from the Boca Chica R&D facility on what had been billed as a brief flight to 41,000 feet. The 50-meter-tall vehicle crashed on touchdown, but Mr. Musk was delighted with how much the test outing achieved. Before the flight, the tech billionaire had dampened expectations, warning his fans the same mishap was likely. Nonetheless, Musk has had big hopes for the Starship, which is fully developed. He says it is the future for his SpaceX company. Starship will launch people and cargo into orbit, and the entrepreneur also envisages the vehicle traveling to the moon and Mars. Back to the headlines. Brexit, large gaps remain after crucial trade talks in Brussels. Joe Biden's son Hunter says he's under investigation over taxes. And Elon Musk's Starship prototype makes a big impact. Moving on to development news, the National Telecinema village Ranminithanna will be reconstructed. It has been identified that this village has not been maintained during the last 4 years. The Treasury has allocated the necessary funds for the reconstruction activities for the years 2021 and 2022. On to sports. England have confirmed that their postponed two-test series against Sri Lanka has been rearranged for January. The tour was due to take place in March, but was cut short during the warm-up games because of the coronavirus pandemic. Joe Root's side will leave England on the 2nd of January and play 2 tests in Galle starting on the 14th and the 22nd of January. The tourists will be subject to a period of quarantine in Hambantota on arrival in Sri Lanka. During that period, they will be able to train and prepare for 5 days from the 5th to the 9th of January. The squad is expected to be named in the coming days, with batsman Johnny Bairstow set to earn a recall. That's sports, and moving on to business news. The US federal regulators and more than 45 state prosecutors have sued Facebook, accusing the social media company of taking illegal action to buy up rivals and stifle competition. The lawsuits are one of the most significant legal actions the US government has taken against the firm. Officials are asking the court to consider breaking up the company, which also owns Instagram and WhatsApp. Facebook said the deal under scrutiny was approved by regulators years ago. That's business news. We look at economic news next.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta, did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We're at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Afghan embassy said in a statement that as part of his recent provincial visit, Afghanistan's ambassador in Colombo, Ashraf Haderi, had called the governor of the eastern province, Anuradha Yahampat, and reviewed the status of growing Afghanistan-Sri Lanka relations. During the meeting, the two sides welcomed the commitment of the two countries' top leadership to further expanding bilateral ties to encompass new areas of cooperation, including establishing sister city and sister province partnerships between Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, with a shared heritage and many converging interests in the regional and global context, the statement said. Governor Yampath discussed the core industries of the eastern province, including construction, fishing, agriculture and tourism, and noted that in each of these areas, Afghanistan and Sri Lanka could explore opportunities for cooperation through the public and private sectors. That's economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
On to the weather report to conclude. A few showers will occur in the northern, eastern and Juba provinces and in the Anuradhapura district. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the Sabragama, central and western provinces and in the Gaul and Matara districts in the evening or night. Fairly heavy rainfalls, about 50 millimeters, are likely at some places. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. The President urges the education authorities not to let the COVID-19 hinder the implementation of plans for the advancement of education. The vote at the third reading of the budget will take place today. India and Sri Lanka agree to find solutions to the existing fisheries matters. Sri Lanka's confirmed coronavirus cases exceed 30,000. Several programs commence from today to mark the 95th anniversary of the SLBC, which falls on the 16th of this month. World Human Rights Day falls today. Brexit, large gaps remain after crucial trade talks in Brussels. And Sri Lanka versus England, the two-test tour for January. That concludes this morning's news broadcast, and now it's back to your host and my good friend and yours, Victor Raj, to keep you entertained this Thursday morning. Good morning, Victor, and it's all yours.